Saturday morning I'm freezing because I've come out to do an interview for GB News. I thought I'd do it on the tractor where it's quiet, no kids in the house. Well, kids are in the house. And they said it was 9:10. Didn't do it till 9:30. So I was sat in the cab with no coat on. I'm just going to run down the yard, see where the dryer's up to, because I know John's messing with that. And we'll check out that concrete. Oh, well, that looks to have gone off okay overnight. We forgot to easy float it, but it doesn't matter. It's just got a little bit of grip in it. That'll soon scrub off. In fact, I could probably float a bit of that flatter now, actually. This morning, it's not gone off too much overnight, but the top's solid. Yeah, so John's just moving a bit of beans around. The batch that he was doing yesterday, that's done, that's dried, that's in the shed. It's on the second batch now. I think there's going to be four loads, nearly 80 tonne to dry. So they just dry so slowly, because if you imagine the 3 or 4 times the size of a grain of wheat, you've got to get the moisture out in the middle of them, so you've got to warm them up enough that they warm up and release the moisture. So I'm just going to check the boiler now, because the boiler went off in the night, well, early hours this morning. I think I had a stick jammed in it. Seems okay. The chipper was probably ready for some new teeth earlier than they were put on. 87, that'll do. It went off about 6:30, so the house wasn't very warm this morning. Gone and got my hat on a bit warmer. Dad's emptied the drying floor of chip. I'm just going to shoot up to Brook House and we stiff these doors and take a bale of straw around to the horses, because the one that they took the other day when they were up, it's quite flaggy inside. It's gone off. It must have been a bit damp when it was baled, maybe off a headland or something. So I'll get my better bale. First job, got a ratchet strap. Someone's got stuck on one of the dog fields. They must have pulled off the stone onto the field, so I'll go and tow them out and I'll move the straw. How would you end up that far on the grass off the car park? Turn the wheel, turn the wheel. How would you end up that far onto a field? I do not know. There we go. That wheat looked well when it came up, but suffered the wet a little bit. Bit of slug damage, I'd guess. I've just called it Bill and Joe's because they're using our concrete mixer, and got this McConnell Hedge Cutter on demo. It's a 1.6 metre head. It's massive, and then it's got variable forwards reach, so it's a bit hard to see with that ram up there when that twists round. So this will kind of come round like this to here, and that ram then pushes it forwards, so the head then sits here rather than there, so you can see it out your window without looking behind yourself. So they've had it on demo, liked it that much that they're building them a new one, but a 75, so a little bit smaller, but I think it's still got the same reach. But after Morgan doesn't see this because he's quite fancies another edge cutter. Just thinking, that looks like a hay cap, but it is. It's what we made for the combine, isn't it? Bit of extra ballast. Make bread in these, you know. You can make bread in these. Hear it change note then as the cement went in and dried it up a bit. Yard's a bit muddier than when they got married. 15th of June it was. See the new spud boxes they got. There's his drill tucked up in the shed all cosy. Ooh, what's going on with the camera? It's focusing on the mud on the window rather than drilling the shed. Do you know what? I come down this road half an hour ago, and in that time someone's dumped a fake Christmas tree and 2 doors. This is one of the winter bird mixes. The cold weather and the frost has pretty much killed nearly all of it off. There's a bit of, is that Phacelia maybe still growing? And there's some OSR in the bottom that survived. So, will we have a crop of oilseed rape under it or not? Who knows? Certainly looks to be plenty of plants. All this has been eaten anyway, so it's obviously been feeding the birds. It's completely stripped. Oh, a little bit left there, a little bit of mustard still left there. This is a miss with the drill. Look at the grass weeds. Just shows you how the cover crop outcompetes everything, so that there's not a lot of grass weed in the cover crop. Problem is now it's died so much. Any of this sort of companion crop OSR, now pigeons will probably move into it because they can land. Now it's dying back a bit, they can get in there and shovel it away at it like they have done there. They've chomped some of that and the slugs. Just noticed this as I was driving past on a neighbouring field. It's still got ice and snow on it where it's been in the shade for, well, I don't know, was it last weekend or the weekend before it snowed? It was the weekend before, wasn't it? See how it's getting on in here. They've been here today. We've marked out for the fridge, washing machine, I don't know what you call it, dishwasher, sink in here. This is the brew room. Got the doors on here that we were doing last week. This will be the storeroom. Got doors now under the stairs. So that is that. So like, I think there's like a server and stuff going in there. That's the where we do the seed socks. You can't really see. Let there be light. So Ian's been packing them. And then we'll go back. Shut the doors. We've got what else is happening? This is obviously where the weighbridge bit will be. Doors are on the toilets now. The locks. There's one toilet. That'll be the other one with a shower under there. So yeah, they've been cracking on downstairs today. I think Matt's done a little bit of painting up here. Or his dad, sorry. He was up there painting before and filling in where the plasterboard had gone. We just got Dave's hopefully here on Monday, the electrician. He's got a few more cables to route, and then they can start studding the rest of these offices out. And then put 1, 2, 3 doors. We've got to build a banister around here. Then you should have that as a trap door, so you can go over the top of it, but if you need it in an emergency exit, you can like lift it up and go down. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, well, banister and stuff up there. And there we go. Go and have a look over here though. I've got to show you this. Rob's still chipping away. You can see past the concrete wagon where the barley's died from the flood and the ice. Flood's now gone, but the barley looked a bit of a UFO there then. Hold on, because they had the zoom flash on. The barley looks great, but it's obviously died there. This is today's birthday month. We've got Richard Williams is 65, Edward Stainthorpe is 12, John and David Milliken are 70. I think they were 3 months premature or were tiny when they were born, according to what someone said in the description. Kevin Horner is 67. In fact, you were actually put on twice as well. Philip Edwards is the big 7-0. Jason Jackson's 52, and John Marshall is also on there. And we're only £108 off 84,000 plus the gift aid. Rapidly approaching the 90,000. Just want to say, so Jason Jackson's on the birthday bumper. So, friend Jonathan, 12 months ago today, we were at the Euro auctions looking at a quad track with him. Yeah, just tragic. Remember, you're here for a good time, not a long time. He was only 52. So, just look after yourself, everyone. Any lumps or bumps, get them checked out. I know his was a brain tumour, so it's a bit difficult, but if you have any symptoms that you might be worried about, get the doctors as soon as possible. That is probably about it for today, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and if you want to, here's the GB News bit I did this morning. You can see that as well.
Now, the farmers' furor has continued. MPs from Scotland have penned a letter to the Chancellor demanding the return of ring-fenced funding for farmers.
And this, of course, comes after farmers took their protests to the checkout as thousands rallied outside supermarkets yesterday.
Let's talk to farmer and YouTuber Ollie Harrison. Morning to you, Ollie. Good to see you. I mean, is there growing momentum here? Is there pressure, enough pressure for any of this to change?
We hope so. We've put a lot of energy into it, and we will do. We'll just keep going until we get this reversal, because I think it's so long since the budget. I need to kind of like start from the beginning again. But basically, the changes in inheritance tax laws now mean that if my father was to pass away, or if I was to pass away, and my children or I want to carry on, the tax bill generated would be 4 times greater than the profits each year that the farm's able to generate on a good year. So effectively, it makes the business just insolvent. It just can't carry on without selling a third of it off. Now, if you sell a third of it off and it wasn't really making much money anyway in bad years, then you just there's no point in farming. So everyone in the UK is now in that boat. So if that then happens and all the farms have to be sold, who's going to buy them? It's just going to be used for carbon offsetting for airlines or big factories or energy companies. And then we're just going to have a complete decline in UK grown food. So that is why we're angry. So, because there's a lot of people talking about tax. It's not really a tax because you're dead. It's kind of a land grab. And it's on an asset that is never liquid. You know, there's an asset value, but a bit like your kidney, it's got an asset, it's got a value, but you don't want to sell it, and you wouldn't. Well, that's the thing with family farms, but this tax will just destroy them. So there's been a lot of anger. We had a march and a rally in London. We've had tractors in London. We've been to supermarkets. There's a few got a bit militant the other week and blocked the distribution centre. There's a lot going on. I mean, I can see scarecrows on the screen at the moment. That's probably another thing we'll be doing. We'll be getting more scarecrows out on roundabouts just to remind them MPs in the constituents that in the next election they will lose their seats unless they stand with the rural constituents.
Now, a lot of people understand what you're saying completely, and a heck of a lot of people support you. But do you feel you're getting anywhere with the government?
It does feel like the front bench have just got the fingers in their ears, not listening and not engaging with anyone. But we have had some conversations with some other MPs and some advisors to the government that actually agree with us now that this policy is completely flawed. I mean, you could say that they could keep the policy, but they just need to change the framework, the numbers within it to make it sustainable. And, you know, we're happy with that. You know, like a complete U-turn and throw it in a bin would be perfect. And, you know, we can just carry on and hope for better weather. But, you know, if they want to do something, work with us, talk to us, and let's move that bar to something that'll not destroy family farms, basically.
What I can't get my head round is that you only have to, when this was all announced, anyone with literally with any bit of common sense only has to look at the proposals for about 5 minutes to realise the problems there. So, yeah, how has it got through as far as it has?
I think that's why I've ended up front and centre in this campaign, really, because I was watching the budget live, saw what was said, text me solicitor, and I said, that's the death of family farms. He said, yeah, you're right. So I put a tweet out, and then that's it. And the more you got into the detail and realised, it literally is. There is no way to turn. There's no way around it. So my dad, that morning, you know, he'd worked all his life, you know, building the farm. Every generation of our farms added a bit to it. And now there is this value of it, but we'll never see it. And all he wanted to do was pass it on to me Well, now, unless he dies before the end of April, I've got a tax bill that I cannot afford without selling some of the farm off. And when I lost 200,000 last year and had to borrow that to keep going to plant things for this summer, and then you're going to have a tax bill on top that's probably 4 or 5 times higher than that. You think, why bother? I might as well just pack up now and go and live in Portugal or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody could understand you thinking that. However, you are continuing the protest. We saw it in supermarkets yesterday. We've seen it in London and in various other big cities. What's next in the protest?
There's a few things. I mean, date for your diary, it'd be March 4th. I can't say just too much yet, but it'll be in London, and there's a clue in the title. That's obviously Pancake Day, Shrove Tuesday. You know, it's when your cupboards are empty of the empty covers of flour, milk, and eggs, isn't it? Make pancakes. Yes,
Well
there's probably something going to be happening that day. 25th of January, the NFU have got a day of action, which is going to be a little bit similar to what was happening yesterday with tractors at different supermarkets. I mean, it's amazing. Morrison's have realised that without farmers, they have no business. So they're out in support of us. Booths are in support of us. The other supermarkets, quite a small northern one, and also now Asda as well. Some of the bigger boys, the Tesco's and the Sainsbury's, they've not come out with anything yet. They really should come on board and understand that, you know, they've got no business without UK agriculture as well. I can understand they don't want to be political, but equally this you know, it's just too damaging. It's just a flawed budget, really. It was rushed through and wasn't thought out.
I mean, this is the point, though. In one sense, it's not political, is it? Because this is about food security in our country, and you know, it's about maintaining that food security from generation to generation to generation.
Yeah, you know, Britain, there's that many of us. You know, we just can't feed ourselves. You know, we do have to rely on 40% of food being imported. But if that starts to get any higher, then that makes us very, very vulnerable to the rest of the world. I mean, we all saw it in COVID, how short supply chains are, you know, and how shelves went empty then. We just need to wake up. We should have the MOD really on board with us and say, you know, never mind warships and nuclear subs and stuff. You know, we want to thrive in agricultural sector here.
Oh, well, that would be something if that were to happen. Look, Ollie, really, really good to see you this morning. And, you know, as you say, without giving too much away, get a supply of eggs and flour and look forward to seeing you on the 4th of March.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's just... it just drives me mad, because where's the common sense?
I know. Well, and it's when he put it that simply that his father wants to be able to hand it to him. But when he dies and leaves it to him, he gets landed with a massive tax bill that he knows he can't pay.
He can't pay.
That is terrible.
But it's the basic equation. We've said it from the beginning. Farmers are asset rich, because the land is worth a lot of money, but cash poor, because you don't sell the land, because you need the land. So why politicians have not been able to see that from the moment this was suggested.
And what's especially hurtful is that there doesn't seem to be anyone in government who's actually bothering to listen, or at least engage with them.
It's not right, is it? Anyway, I'm sure you'll have thoughts.